Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with a first impressions video for Horizon Chase. Something a little bit different for this channel, I feel. Now before we jump in, if you do enjoy this video, let me know by hitting like on it and consider subscribing to the channel for all things mobile gaming. Let me know what games you'd like to see me play, either in the comment section down below or by coming and finding me on the various social media channels along the bottom of your screen now. That said and done, let's jump into Horizon Chase. Now, calling this a first impressions video is actually not really overly honest of me. I've actually had this game for a long time. I got really far into it on my old Razer Phone 1, and when I switched to the Razer Phone 2, I forgot to back up my data, so, well, as you can see, it's not quite as complete as it used to be. But I have been slowly going back through it, and I thought, you know what, I've not actually really covered any racing games on my channel, so time to change that. Now, Horizon Chase is actually, there's a PlayStation 4 version of this as well. It's made by a Brazilian company. Great little racing game. Some fantastic looking graphics. I just love how different this is. It's that little bit, it reminds me a lot of sort of, like things like Ridge Racer and the original like Rage Racer series, that kind of thing, just in the way it was done. It's a much more arcade racer game than perhaps the likes of real racing, that kind of thing, and I think that's probably why I enjoy it. I'm not a huge fan of standard racing games, but I do quite like these arcadey, almost cartoony ones. Now, as you play through the game, you do unlock different cars, and ultimately you can see many of them on the track here. You'll see this is a very simplistic racer when played on your phone. It's not so much about steering around corners, it's very, very arcadey, and most of it is ultimately about controlling your accelerator and your boost. Now you see there are coins that you get around the track, you do want to collect all of those on every race. Those are what are going to help you unlock new vehicles and new parts for your vehicles. But it's not, the emphasis here isn't really on the steering. You can kind of not overly steer all that much, if we're being honest. It's more, the steering is more lane changing, and there's fuel as well, which you need to pick up and keep going. You can then use your nitro boosts just to get some quick overtakes in while you can. Obviously, this is the first course. Different courses have, first of all, different backgrounds, and then, of course, things like much sharper corners that you really need to slow down for and learn how to control your handling better, right down to even areas where the course really narrows down or actually widens up in certain cases, along with going off-road on some tracks in some of the other races. And the backgrounds, of course, change as well. Like here, you can see you've got the city and the bridge in the background there, the hills and all this kind of thing. It's a very nice, calm, relaxing track to start things off with. And this is the Chile, I believe, or is it California? No, this is California. Of course it's California. That's supposed to be the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. I'm an idiot. But there we are. Ultimately, I just really quite like this. I've enjoyed this game for a while because it's a simple game. There's nothing overly hectic about this. It's great to just pull out in the back of a car. It's not required to be online. I do get these little bits of slowdown on this, though, for some reason at the moment. I don't know if that's game optimization or something wrong with my device, and yay, at least I'm getting achievements for going back through all of these, and that's, well, I do like getting achievements. Nice that you can actually share all of these with a cool little picture like this as well. Allows you to post it onto different channels there, which I'm not going to do, obviously, right now. You can link to Facebook to compete with your friends. Now you see that you get points for your position in a race, track tokens, and the amount of fuel left, giving a possible actual opportunity here, as you can see, above the maximum. The maximum theoretically is 120, perfect score. You can actually go up to 130. Now that fuel you can use towards additional races. Like here you can see all of these races I have got above the maximum. First place position there. In fact, if I go into next, you'll see that you do actually have different cars that you can unlock with different top speeds, that kind of thing, and you can start unlocking new things. Like here I've got a gearbox upgrade, suspension upgrades, that kind of thing. You unlock new cars through the bonus rounds here. Like you can see, first place gets you the new car, third place gets you prizes. Now if I go across here to a different race, if we go to Atacama and just do the first race of the Atacama, we're going to do this in a different car here. You'll see that, again, the background has now changed. We are now off-roading things, so we can just go for this. And I love the graphical style of this one. Yeah, it annoys me sometimes when I suck at this, and I start bouncing off every car there is on the track and losing my position in the race. And of course, even worse is to finally get your way all the way up into first position and realise that you've missed out on a load of the coins. So, of course, I think it's worth mentioning that if you're after a realistic sort of racing experience, this ain't it. You're not going to get sort of your Gran Turismo or, you know, GT Sport or Forza kind of experience here. This is definitely much more for those who used to play things like the Ridge Racer and other Namco racing games back in the day, and oh man, that's giving me flashbacks. I feel old saying that, but darn, I need to go back and play those games again. I thoroughly enjoyed those. I suppose there's a hint of things like Burnout and that in here. It's a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, as you can see by the quips when I was bashing into other people's cars as we go. But graphically, I just love the sort of, it's not hand-drawn. I don't even know how you describe the art style on this one. It's sort of polygonic? If you can think of a better word for it, please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'm just going to be scratching my head trying to work out a word for this kind of angular, really quite cool. I like it. I really like the look of this game, and I have got this on PS4 as well. It was actually a PlayStation Plus game at one point. Yeah, and I've missed one of the coins. That's going to cost me my score at the end of all this. Ugh. But hey, I'm only doing this as a demo just to show you guys. Now, for me, as I said, this is just a great little bit of fun. Bright, vibrant, coloured graphics, great little bit of racing. It's not too serious, it's not too difficult, though it does get blasted challenging on some of the future courses, some of the, as you start ramping up. I remember the South African tracks really giving me a bit of a hard time. There we go, and this time it seems to have just gone straight through nice and cleanly, so there we go. Cool, again, we can share that cool looking picture there. I'm not going to. I don't know why I keep pulling that up. I just like that that's a thing. First place there. It's going to be 24 out of 25. Ugh, it's not quite a perfect score, but it is still over the basic. But those track tokens are what you use for going through into the new area. So you can see here I've got Chile unlocked, and then you come across into Brazil. After Brazil, we move through to, I think that's Greece. Or Europe, and Hawaii, Australia is one of these. I think that was Dubai there. India, that's Australia. And they just keep going. There's a whole load of content here to keep up with. And we've seen that there are trophies, which, as I said, achievements are something I really like doing. We've got California, Brazil, South Africa, Greece, Iceland, UAE, India, Australia, Hawaii, and then different additional ones here. And you can see some of these are really rare trophies, so it's worth actually, possibly, if you're a trophy hunter, coming into this one to give it a try. I love the graphics, I love the gameplay, it's very straightforward, very simplistic, and I think the start of the game is completely free. You get California completely free, but there is then a pay unlock to go onwards into Chile. In my opinion, wholeheartedly worth it. It's only a couple of dollars. But of course, all that means is that I get the joy of going back through all of this. Like here in Santiago, I am of course going to need to change those silvers and bronzes to gold, plus finish off, get the tokens, and continue through all of these different races. Tons of new cars for me to unlock and that on the route. As I said, so far I've only got a couple of those on this particular version of the game, but you can see there are a whole lot more here ready for me to unlock, along with the upgrades along the bottom of the track there as well. That one looks particularly cool. I do like a rear spoiler, if I do say so myself. But ultimately, there's a lot to unlock here, a lot to keep you going. If racing is your kind of thing and you don't want something, you're not after something ridiculously serious, that looks like the A-Team van. If you're looking for something that is a bit of fun, doesn't take itself too seriously, I cannot recommend Horizon Chase enough. Brilliant little game, well worth your time. Give it a download and let me know what you think. If it's a game that you've been playing, or if you've been playing this on PS4 or one of the other consoles, if it's on others, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. If you think there's a sort of a Ridge Racer style game out there that's a little bit better than this one, wholeheartedly, I'm up for recommendations. I'm always after different games of different genres, and races is something I feel I haven't really covered on this channel, so there we go. It's something I would like to. Let me know your thoughts in comments down below, or on different social media channels. Come find me, let's have a chat. Anyway, folks, thank you ever so much for watching, happy sailing, and see you on those racetracks.